Something absolutely wild just happened in Major League Baseball, and the entire league is in complete chaos right now. The Dodgers announced they've extended Miguel Rojas on a 1-year, $5.5 million deal. Sounds routine, right? Just a veteran infielder getting a modest extension, but this simple signing has triggered a firestorm of controversy that's exposing deep divisions within the sport. Juan Soto is at the center of it. Mookie Betts just made one of the strongest statements of his career. And the real story behind Rojas rejecting a much bigger offer is revealing tensions that nobody saw coming. Let me break down what's actually happening here, because this goes way deeper than just a contract. Miguel Rojas has been with the Dodgers for the past couple seasons, and while he's not a superstar putting up massive numbers, he's been absolutely critical to their success. He's the kind of player who holds the clubhouse together. He's a veteran presence who knows how to win. He played a key role in their recent championship runs, and the Dodgers clearly value what he brings beyond just his stats. So when they extended him for another year at $5.5 million, it seemed like a smart move to keep continuity and leadership in the locker room. But here's where it gets crazy. According to multiple reports, Rojas had other offers on the table before he agreed to stay with the Dodgers. The most significant one came from the New York Mets, and it wasn't even close in terms of money. The Mets reportedly offered Rojas over $10 million, nearly double what the Dodgers gave him. That's a huge gap. For a player at the end of his career, turning down that kind of money is almost unheard of. But Rojas did exactly that. He chose to stay in Los Angeles for less money. And that decision is what kicked off this entire controversy. Why did the Mets want Rojas so badly? Because they're desperate for veteran leadership and defensive stability at shortstop. The Mets have been inconsistent defensively, and they believed Rojas could come in and immediately upgrade that area while also mentoring younger players. He's known for his defensive skills and his ability to teach the game. He's worked with guys like Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts on their defensive positioning and fundamentals. The Mets saw him as someone who could stabilize their infield and bring a winning mentality to a team that's been underperforming relative to their payroll. But Rojas said no. He turned down the bigger paycheck and chose to stay with the Dodgers. And when that news broke, it should have been a feel-good story about loyalty and a player choosing the right fit over money. Instead, it turned into a full-blown controversy because of what happened next. Juan Soto apparently called Rojas directly before he made his final decision. According to multiple sources, Soto personally reached out and tried to recruit Rojas to the Mets. And the way he allegedly pitched it was pretty aggressive. He told Rojas that joining the Mets would be good for baseball, that it would help revive American baseball, and that Rojas should be part of building something special in New York. That's already a bold move. One star player directly recruiting another team's guy. But what made it even more controversial was what Soto said publicly around the same time. In an interview just a couple days before that phone call, Soto made some comments criticizing the Dodgers. He said the team relies too heavily on Japanese players and that it's hurting the development of American talent. He suggested that the Dodgers roster construction is more about marketing than winning, and he implied that Rojas would be making a mistake if he chose to stay in Los Angeles instead of joining the Mets. Those comments immediately sparked outrage. Fans and analysts called him out for crossing a line, and it became a huge story. Now it's pretty clear what Soto was trying to do. He was trying to position the Mets as the better option and convince Rojas to leave the Dodgers, but his approach backfired massively. Instead of persuading Rojas, it seemed to push him further towards staying in Los Angeles. And when Rojas finally responded publicly, he didn't hold back. Rojas came out and basically shut down everything Soto said. He defended the Dodgers' approach to roster building, and he made it clear that he wasn't going to be swayed by outside pressure. He said the trust and relationships he's built with the Dodgers over the years are more valuable than any contract offer. He called out Soto's comments as misguided and rooted in jealousy. He even said that if Soto thinks baseball should be about nationality and division, then he doesn't understand what the sport is really about. That was a direct shot, and it made waves throughout the league. But Soto didn't back down. Instead, he doubled down. After Rojas officially signed with the Dodgers, Soto made another statement to the media where he said Rojas had betrayed American baseball by staying with a team that so heavily invested in Japanese talent. He criticized the Dodgers for building their roster around international stars like Shohei Ohtani, and he suggested that this approach is bad for the future of baseball in the United States. Those comments were so inflammatory that they immediately became the biggest story in baseball. That's when Mookie Betts stepped in. Betts is normally very measured with his public statements. He doesn't usually get involved in controversies, but this time he couldn't stay silent. He held a press conference and absolutely went off. He called Soto's comments ridiculous and disrespectful. He praised Rojas for his professionalism and leadership, and then he addressed the criticism about the Dodgers having too many Japanese players. Betts said baseball is a global sport and always has been. He said strength comes from bringing together the best players from around the world, regardless of nationality. He defended Shohei Ohtani and the other international players on the Dodgers, and he made it clear that anyone who thinks nationality matters more than talent doesn't understand what makes a winning team. His comments were powerful, and they immediately shifted the narrative. Suddenly, Soto was the one being criticized, and Betts was being praised for standing up for his teammates and the values of the sport. So what's really going on here? A lot of analysts believe this isn't really about Rojas at all. It's about Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani has become the face of Major League Baseball. His contract is the biggest in sports history. His talent is generational. His popularity is global. And for a lot of players, especially American stars, that's created some insecurity. Soto is one of the best young players in baseball, and he signed a massive contract with the Mets. But even with all that, he's still living in Ohtani's shadow. Ohtani is the story. Ohtani is the draw. And that seems to bother Soto. When you look at Soto's comments through that lens, they make a lot more sense. He's not really criticizing the Dodgers roster construction. He's criticizing the fact that Ohtani has become bigger than the sport itself, and he's trying to position himself as the alternative. He's trying to be the face of American baseball in opposition to the international stars who are dominating the league. But that message isn't resonating. Baseball fans don't care about nationality. They care about talent and winning. And right now, the Dodgers have both. The Dodgers are built around Ohtani, sure, but they're also built around guys like Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and yes, Miguel Rojas. They've created a culture where the best players in the world want to be, regardless of where they're from. That's why Rojas chose to stay for less money. It's not just about the contract. It's about being part of something bigger. And Soto's comments have only reinforced that. This whole situation has exposed a major divide in how players and teams view the future of baseball. On one side, you have the Dodgers, who are embracing a global approach and building a roster with the best talent available. On the other side, you have voices like Soto's, who seem to want baseball to stay more traditional and American-focused. But the reality is, baseball has always been an international sport. The best players have always come from all over the world, and teams that recognize that are the ones winning championships. The fallout from this is going to last a long time. Soto's reputation has taken a hit. Betts has emerged as a strong leader, and Rojas has become a symbol of loyalty and professionalism. The Dodgers look stronger than ever, while the Mets are dealing with questions about their culture and whether they can actually compete with teams that are built the right way. As for what happens next, that's the big question. Will Soto continue to push this narrative, or will he realize he's on the wrong side of history? Will the Mets be able to recover from this and build a winner, or are they going to keep making mistakes like this? And how will the Dodgers respond if they win another championship with Rojas as part of their core? All of those answers are coming. And when they do, it's going to shape the future of this league. This story is far from over.